I thought cheating on my husband while he built our future would be a thrill until he found my messages, finished the house, and sold it without a word, leaving me with nothing. My husband Mike spent 2 years building our dream house with his own hands. Every weekend, every vacation day, every spare moment he had went into that place. He'd come home covered in sawdust and paint, talking excitedly about the kitchen cabinets he'd installed or the bathroom tile he'd just finished. I should have been grateful, but honestly, I was bored out of my mind. Mike worked construction all week, then worked on our house all weekend. I felt like I was married to a ghost who only talked about crown molding and electrical wiring. That's when I met David at my office. He was everything Mike wasn't: smooth, exciting, always dressed perfectly. He'd take me to fancy restaurants during lunch breaks and send me flowers just because. When he started flirting, I didn't stop him. It started with coffee meetings, then dinner when Mike was working late on the house. David made me feel alive again, like I was more than just someone's wife waiting around while he played with power tools. The texting got intense pretty quickly. David would send me messages throughout the day telling me how beautiful I was, how much he wanted to be with me. I'd respond while Mike was in the shower, washing off the day's construction work. For 3 months, I lived this double life. Mike would show me progress photos of our master bedroom while I deleted flirty texts from David. Mike would talk about our future in this beautiful house while I planned secret meetups with another man. Last month, Mike surprised me by saying the house was finally finished. He wanted to do a walkthrough together before we moved in. I was excited to see everything completed, but also nervous because David had been pushing me to leave Mike and start fresh with him. We drove out to the property on a Saturday morning. The house was absolutely stunning. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a huge kitchen with granite countertops, and a back deck overlooking the woods. Mike had built everything perfectly, down to the smallest details. He was showing me the master closet when his phone rang. He answered it and walked outside to take the call. I was admiring the crown molding when I heard him come back in, but his footsteps sounded different, heavier. When I turned around, Mike was holding my phone. My stomach dropped. I'd left it on the kitchen counter and forgotten to lock it. David had sent a message that popped up on the screen. "Can't wait to celebrate when you finally leave him tonight." Mike's face was completely blank. He handed me the phone without saying a word and walked outside. I followed him, trying to explain, but he got in his truck and drove away. For the next 2 weeks, Mike didn't come home. He stayed at his brother's place and wouldn't answer my calls. I kept texting apologies, begging him to talk to me, but nothing. Then I got a call from a real estate agent I'd never heard of. She told me the house had been sold and I needed to pick up a check for my half of the proceeds. I was confused because we'd never put it on the market. When I got to her office, she explained that Mike had listed and sold the house in less than a week. Apparently, he'd kept all the receipts for materials and calculated exactly what I'd contributed financially, which was basically nothing since he'd done all the work himself. My half came out to $2,200. The house sold for $340,000. The real estate agent handed me the check and said Mike had left a note. It was written on the back of one of our old house plans. All it said was, "Hope David has a nice place for you to live." I tried calling Mike one more time, but his number was disconnected. His brother told me he'd taken a job in another state and didn't want any contact. David suddenly became a lot less interested when he found out I was actually getting divorced and would need somewhere to stay. Turned out he was only excited about the affair part, not the real relationship part. I ended up moving back in with my parents at 32 years old, sleeping in my childhood bedroom, while Mike started over somewhere new with $338,800 and the satisfaction of knowing he'd built something beautiful with his own hands before I destroyed it. The house is still standing. I drive by it sometimes and see the new family enjoying the deck Mike built, the garden he planted, and the life we were supposed to have together.